Minecraft feature-packed is the game, as well as the new snapshots. And snapshots and Mindcrack are one of the things that I am going to talk about today in exploration and tactics. And yeah, based on feedback, I watched Good's recent video where he talked about the Mindcrack server moving to the snapshots. And I forgot to say it in the live commentary, but I also enjoyed Good's cabin. I thought it looked good, and so nice job, Good. I meant to say that when I was talking about other things, and I forgot to, but I thought Good's cabin looked good. But let's go ahead and get started, and it is more caving and chat. Hello, and welcome back to more exploration and tactics with Brian. We are pretty much right where we left off last time, modulo a little bit of inventory management with the ender chest. And that is good, because we are going to do some more caving and chat. And I like caving, so that is cool. And as for chat, I do have a number of new topics, by virtue of the fact of you guys had some good comments and questions on the last video. And yeah, one of the advantages of making these videos pretty much kind of on demand the last a lot of days. I haven't had a backlog. I haven't been recording things ahead of time, and so I've had the opportunity to read your comments one day before making the video the next day. And yes, it's kind of pretty cool to be able to respond to things quickly, I think. Or at least it's cool for me, because it's given me a lot of topics, and you guys have had some good questions. So let's go ahead. Oh, poor creeper. He fell in some lava. How sad for him. Creepers. He got pushed by the water. Otherwise, he would have been smarter and not done that. Oh, hello. Hello, hello. Are you finding a way to me, or you're just trying to get as close as possible? But then you did hop down a little 3-block thingy. I was talking about this a little bit in the last episode, and I don't know exactly what their AI algorithm is with respect to how far they choose to fall down in order to try to come after you. And I'm unclear if he was intentionally jumping down 3 blocks, or he was spinning around on the 1-block thing, as they often tend to spin around, and kind of fell off, and then it ended up next to me to run over. But at the same time, I kind of also like not knowing, because I think when the mobs appear to behave somewhat unpredictably, even though I'm pretty sure it's still the case that it's, deterministic, their pathfinding behavior, as opposed to explicitly having much randomness in it. I like it when the game is a bit more unpredictable in terms of the mobs, because I think it makes it more exciting. All right, topics. So, Good announced in a recent video that it is extremely likely that the Mindcrack server is going to be transitioning to the snapshots, and people wanted to know what I thought of that, as well as what I thought of, kind of Good's rationale, since I was just talking about the fact that I am trying to stay spoiler-free from the snapshots. Oh dear. You are on a level above me, and I would like to, for once, successfully kill the creepers without having them blow up on me, but that was difficult terrain to do it on, and I'm just not that good yet. Yes, so I went and watched, not all of, but most of Good's video to kind of like hear him talking about the reasonings, the rationale, pros and cons. And yes, to briefly summarize what I think he said is, first of all, there's interest in getting a chance to check out the new stuff. Oops. See, I at least looked. Still ended up losing a piece of gold in there, but at least I didn't jump in after it. So yeah, they would like a chance. Ooh, emerald ore, huzzah. Oh, hello. A lot of creepers. Well, I guess 2 is not technically a lot. Oh dear, I thought I'd gotten far enough away. And, alright, let's go ahead. I have plenty of arrows because I got like a stack of them before I went on this mission. And I hear a skeleton. Let's go ahead and see if we find him before we go and grab that emerald ore, because it's so rare and precious, and I want to make sure I don't do anything to threaten it. Alright, there's a skeleton over there, but he is not going to come over here and get me. Whee! Bye-bye, water. There's some more gold over there as well. I've been doing more mining than I kind of have been intending to do in these caving episodes, but it's mostly by virtue of the fact that I have topics that I want to discuss, and it is definitely easier for me to try to, I still don't know that I'm great at it, stay on track with topical discussion when I'm doing some things that require less brain power from me, kind of online. Anyway, so, Good's arguments for the advantages of going to the snapshot. One is you get a chance to kind of experience the new content and have it be kind of new and fresh and not necessarily know all the details, because yes, despite the fact that I am trying to stay spoiler-free, it is definitely a challenge because there's a lot of other people who are using the snapshots and talking about them. And Good talked about kind of longing for the time of when you got a new version of Minecraft and you had no idea what was in it, and neither did anybody. Oops. Oh, I don't have a... Right, I don't have a power one bow. So that is going to take 3 arrows in all likelihood. And... what do I want to say here? Let me get my thoughts in order. I'll be right back. All right. I think basically the summary is... while it's true that gone are the days where everything would be completely new because no one knew anything about the update, now it's the case that both because of the fact that they have the, the release notes, words come to Brian's head so they can come out of Brian's mouth. Once they have the release notes that kind of like tell you the details, as well as the fact that when you have a game that millions and millions of people are playing, you know, it doesn't matter even if things are hidden in the game. When the release comes out, it will be the case that the next day, if you go on the internet, you'll be able to find out all of the information because there are people who are, you know, trying to break down every aspect and find out all the goodies. And so the information is out there. And so it's never the case that you'll be able to be, you know, like it was in the old days in terms of like trying to be the first person to discover X, Y, and Z about the new update, or just not knowing. But at the same time, it is the case that you can enjoy some of that old nostalgic feeling about everything being kind of fresh and new when you're working on the snapshots, because you won't have had time to watch everybody's videos from yesterday and learn all the things. And it's definitely easier to stay away from information for, you know, a few days or a week, and then go play the game and enjoy and discover some things on your own, than it is to, you know, do it between releases for 2 months like I'm trying to do. So yeah, we'll see how this works out for me. Yes, so I think that's definitely true. And then another thing that he talked about is kind of, you know, what the community and the viewers want to watch. And yeah, I have no idea what the ratio is. I could easily imagine that it's kind of split 50-50 between people who play the release version of the game and people who play the snapshots. I have no idea what the actual numbers are. And yeah, and then there's also a fair number of people who also just watch the videos and don't play the game, either who've never played the game and just do it as kind of a way to relax, or people, you know, who used to play the game and don't play it now, but had gotten into Let's Plays and commentators and found some people they found entertaining, and so also enjoy just doing that to kind of like stay connected with the game some. Or maybe just don't have time to play. And so this is kind of like the proxy fill-in. You know, you're about to go to bed, and you watch some videos, keep abreast of what's going on in Minecraft. I don't know. You know, Minecraft has a wide variety of players and viewers and stuff like that. And so I don't know what those numbers are. I would be a little bit curious. But it would just be kind of idle curiosity. Let's go... Is this going to go this way too? Yeah, let's go ahead and dig through some of this gravel and get back into an abandoned mine shaft, where maybe, just maybe, I will have the opportunity to get my sprint on. Although before I do, let's create some torches. Brian needs a whole lot more torches and then needs to keep his eye on his coal. Alright, I just made a ton of torches. That is crazy. Whee! Running through the mine shaft, don't fall in the lava. This could be a fast song, who knows what. Oh! I saw the diamonds. And emeralds. I don't know why I hit you 3 times and then stopped. I've been playing this game for a while. I know that an iron sword is going to take 4 hits on a skeleton. I'm just like, oh, 3 hits. Why don't you go ahead and take a pot shot at me at point blank range? Silly Brian. Emerald. Alright, we got some diamonds down here. Here. I've been watching too much Vex lately. I think I started to say that in a previous episode and then got cut off by what was happening on the screen and didn't finish my thought. But yes, I've been watching Vex's developer commentary of Waking Up, as well as I mentioned a number of other people playing through Waking Up. I hear the spider. I do not see the spider. Oh, there he is. And it's a normal spider. Okay, great. Not a threat. Once again, main threat of dying in these... Oh, you made me waste an arrow. Oh, 2 arrows. Look at me. All right, I can retrieve that one. Oh, wow. Wow! This has a shot at being the most diamonds I've ever found together. So if you go back into... It's probably around Exploration and Tactics episode number... I want to say 120-something or 130-something in the old series. I was doing some caving in the old world and did find a double ore vein of diamonds where I found 13 diamonds together. There was like an 8 vein and a 5 vein. By virtue of the fact that this is 4 tall, I believe this is another instance. I don't have any diamond blocks in my inventory. I don't have to dig it out around it. We can just go ahead and start digging it up. But I believe this is 2 ore veins that are kind of next to one another or adjacent to one another. I could be wrong. I don't think they ever generate like that unless it's actually kind of like 2 veins generating. And I don't know if I got unlucky and because we're in a cave, the cave's cut out where the diamonds would be. But yes, we only got 5 diamonds there, so that was sad. I got very excited that I was going to find a big group of diamonds. So yes, I think 13 is still my own personal record for the number of kind of adjacent diamonds that I have ever found. And one thing that I haven't really been trying to do very hard is to hit for the new cycle. But I believe there was like diamonds here and there were emeralds around the corner, and so the next time I notice that, I need to consider trying to do a hit for the cycle. My inventory is a little full at this point, and so let me clear that up. I'll be right back. Yeah, in addition to the added storage space of the ender chest, just like the ability to get organized and feel like, I have a nice kind of clean, simple inventory is also just another advantage, at least for me. All right. And so going back onto a previous topic, and another thing that Good mentioned that I am greatly in favor of is he thinks that potentially, with all the people on the Mindcrack server playing the snapshots and having some channels to connect with Mojang, they will have a good opportunity to report bugs and give feedback on SMP play and stuff like that. And I don't have a good sense of how much that is actually true versus just, you know, people playing the snapshots already or giving feedback to Mojang in order to help try to address and fix bugs. But to the extent that it is true, I am greatly in favor of that, because if they end up playing the snapshots and that means that the final release version of the game is going to be better and higher quality, then I am all for that. And so that would be super terrific. And here we are in a dead end. I'm going to go find... Oh, nope. Wait. Ooh, what is this? This is an interesting looking room. I have found 1 or 2 rooms that look like this before, but they're extremely narrow. I am curious to know, for anyone who has looked at the game code or knows the fine details, is this like the world's tiniest ravine? Because it's kind of long and tall and not very wide, and so it definitely feels more like ravine generation than cave generation, kind of based on my own mental model, but I don't actually know. And if it is, I've just found the world's smallest ravine. And so there you go. But yes, in any case, I was about to say that I want to go find some more exciting caves to explore, and then I found that darkness, but that was not exciting, and so I'm going to find some more exciting caves to explore, and then we'll continue talking. Alright, it looks like there's some caves right over here. Some creepers have walked out to join me in the meantime, but we can go ahead and get rid of them like this. This would be good practice for what I would need to do in UHC once I got a bow in order to deal with the creepers if I wanted to cross the ravine. And continue on. So in any case, there are some advantages to moving to the snapshot. The disadvantages that I see that Good didn't talk about, well, I guess he did kind of address one of them, which is bugs, and they have kind of, they're going to wait a few days on the snapshot because they tend to release multiple copies during the week of the snapshot. Basically, if people find critical bugs, they will, you know, release, oops, this is circling around to somewhere I've been. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Alright, let's go looking for other stuff to explore. Maybe this way. Or maybe this is another dead end. Darn, darn, darn. I need to get into some more open cave system, I think. I'm going to make another cut. Apologies. Alright, I think we have a bigger patch of darkness and whatnot over here. Ooh. I am recording on my new solid-state drive today. Hooray. And so I'm excited about that. I got a moment of lag there, but that seemed to be game lag as opposed to fraps lag, and it only lasted for a moment. And so I'm hopeful that that will improve some things, but we'll find out as kind of the next few days go on. I'll probably do a little bit of tweaks on my own recording and editing end. Alright, and we've gotten up a bit higher as well, but that's good because we can kind of light things up from the top, and then we'll have a little bit less danger as we go back down. And, oh, I didn't realize just how far up I had come. Apparently, we were back at the surface. And I wonder if I'll be able to recognize anything out. I'm not going to go look at that right now. We're just going to continue caving, because Brian likes to go caving. Whee! And, ooh. Hello, Enderman. I am going to try not to look at you. And we can be friends. Ooh, hello, creeper. Alright. Let's try to pretend like my life depends on it. Yay! I somehow killed him in 3 hits. I'm not sure if I just got 3 critical hits and that was enough, or if he had taken some fall damage or something already before. Alright, so it said, it said, oh, hello! Found a spider dungeon! Woohoo! And that is sufficiently well lit. But I will add a little bit of extra just because. Cool. I like finding dungeons. Lots more moss stone. I'm going to have a lot of moss stone to work with. Not sure what I'm going to use it to build yet. But I will definitely have the materials on hand. Let's see what we've won. It's this stuff. Another saddle. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to try to breed some pigs at some point and like be on saddles of all of them. That would be kind of interesting to have like a herd of pigs and then have them all have saddles and then like just keep right clicking on different pigs and kind of like hop from pig to pig. That might be entertaining. I'll have to try to remember that. All right, I'm going to take a moment to dig up this floor. Actually, I'll dig up the floor while I continue talking. Yeah, so in any case, Good said that they're going to try to stay on kind of like more stable versions of the snapshot, so let the snapshot have a chance to be out for a few days before they pick up one of the snapshots. And so I think that's probably a good idea, since they have a number of people on the server and don't want to deal with kind of any, huge game-breaking bugs. Balance is one of the things that he didn't address that I think will be kind of like interesting in a challenge, which is the fact that, while I haven't played the snapshots, my understanding in the past, when I've kind of tracked them by reading about them online, is that they make a lot of updates to the game from week to week as they are trying to balance the game. And so, mobs might drop different things or have different numbers of drops, or some game mechanics might change that might influence how you build a mob farm or whether you build a farm and what kind of materials you can farm from different things. Like, I think at one point, I don't know that this was back in the snapshot time, but it might have been, where when they were first doing, Enderman with the 1.8 release, and I think they had pre-releases, I think possibly like Enderman dropped diamonds, and then they changed it to dropping nothing before they invented the Ender Pearl or stuff like this. And so I have no idea with these new mobs, if they have new drops and if those drops have been changing from week to week or would be likely to change and stuff like that. And yeah, and so I don't know how that affects kind of the gameplay. And then the other thing is just kind of like the speed of change in the game. It's kind of related. I don't have a sense of day to day and week to week if they end up changing enough that it kind of makes you, have to kind of keep rechanging your strategy if you're trying to work on a big build, or let's see. How do we want to do this? I'm starting to get a little bit filled. No, that's still not true. I'm not getting filled up here. I still have plenty of room after I kind of consolidate things that are the same. And so, yeah, let me take a minute off camera again. All right, hopefully I have enough inventory space as well as pick and sword durability in order to continue going and finish up this particular caving mission. Get a chance to talk about all the things that I want to talk about. Ooh, that was definitely, I believe, well, it only lasted for a moment. I thought that was fraps lag right there. I don't know if you guys could see the frame rate drop. All right. And so, yes, I don't know how the rate of change affects both people playing the game as well as people watching the game. Like, I don't know if that means you have to watch more closely and keep up with all the episodes in order to know kind of like everything that's going on as the game changes quickly, or it doesn't matter and people can keep up regardless. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I don't know in terms of the rate of change of the game changing and how that affects kind of like people watching and Let's Plays and different kind of things like that. But in any case, what are the implications for me? I am going to try to stand firm and say, yep, that means I'm not going to watch any of those guys on the Mindcrack server for the next 5 weeks or whatever it is until the next update comes out. And we'll see if I'm able of sticking with that, because that is a lot of the things that I watch. But yes, I'm not going to watch them. And yeah, and then moving forward, we'll have to see, you know, this is my own experiment kind of on the other side to do the opposite thing. It definitely is a challenge, and this is one of the things that I've always found to be a challenge, like ever since they started doing kind of like the snapshot updates and pre-releases and stuff like that. One of the things that I enjoy doing in my own Let's Play is trying to come up with original things, which is very challenging. Someone recently posted a comment that was critical but reasonable, which is that a lot of the stuff that I do is just kind of copying stuff that Etho has done. And yeah, so first of all, like, yeah, feel free to make such, you know, critical comments if they're reasonable. And I think that one is at least somewhat reasonable. I definitely try to do my own original stuff, but at the same time, I am an unabashed Etho fanboy. Hopefully not the bad kind of fanboys who, like, you know, like are, you know, rabid YouTube commenters and stuff like that. But at the same time, Etho is my favorite person to watch, and I think he does all kinds of creative, clever stuff. And so to some extent, I try to incorporate some of his play style, and nowadays even video editing style and stuff like that, into my stuff, because I think that makes it better. But at the same time, I'm always trying to do things that are different and original, and it's a matter of just kind of, whoa, oh, string and tripwires. This is something that I've not played with at all. Wow, so that is a tripwire. Well, it's a piece of string that's not connected. This is something that I haven't played with yet. It's on my list of things that I want to do, and I accidentally ended up with string on my bar. And yeah, wow, that is like almost invisible. You could really make some dirty traps by placing string and hooking it up to redstone circuitry and doing things. I am definitely going to have to experiment with that more in the future. That's actually cooler than I thought it was. If you place string down on the ground, okay, it's a little bit more visible there if there's enough light. But yes, for those of you who don't know, you can hook these up to, I think they're just called hooks. I don't remember what it is. And so have a hook over here and then some string and a hook over here. And then when you walk over, it sets off the tripwire and creates a redstone signal with the hook, and you can create traps. And I have not experimented with any of that yet, but I'm going to need to do that because... All right, and so that's actually good. I was thinking about discarding the string that I had because I didn't need it for anything, but I totally need it for that. Although I did also just find a spider dungeon, so I could make a mob farm if I need to get lots of string, but I think a little bit of string will be enough to play around with that. All right, off topic again. And yes, but one of the challenges I have found is in terms of originality. If I don't play any of the snapshots, basically I'm always 2 months behind everyone for the new stuff. And yeah, it has, like, it's been this way for months. It's been a little disappointing for me that, yeah, when new stuff is coming out, I have ideas of clever things you could do with it, but by the time that I actually play with any of the game that has those updates, 100 other people have already, you know, come up with the same idea and built, you know, bigger and better versions than the things that I originally envisioned. And so that is a challenge. In the case of Etho in particular, there is, I guess it was on South Park, the joke of Simpsons did it. And I feel like for Minecraft in general, darn it, I've circled around somewhere that I've been again. There's the joke of Etho did it because Etho's already done everything. You know, he hasn't done everything, but it is the case that he has done. Ooh, I see you trying to hide from me, Emerald Ore, behind all these spider webs. But no, I was too observant. And you will be mine. Yes, I think there's the case of kind of Etho did it in terms of Etho has done, whoa, most everything in the game. And, oh yes, I remember being here because we talked about in the previous episode these crazy minecart tracks that were just hovering over nothing. All right, this definitely means I've circled around to a number of places that I've been, so I'm going to make another cut. All right, I decided to dig my way out, and so let's see where we are coming up, if we can recognize where we are. And I believe I do recognize this because I believe my house will be right there. Oh, am I right? I believe I am still right. Although we can't see it. I'm farther away than I thought. But I believe it will be right up on this hill. So let's see how good my sense of direction is. And why am I not sprinting? Sprinting is a part of the game. Hooray! There's my house. I see it. Huzzah! Alright. And I'm only at level 16, but I did collect a whole lot of ore and have a lot to go ahead and smelt, and so I'll be curious to see, with all the loot I have, how high I get. I'm not sure that I'm going to get to level 30 quite yet, but we will see, because I would like to end this episode on an enchant. And yeah, so yeah, just to finish the thought, I feel like it is hard for me to do original stuff with the new things in the game, and so... yes, I am often looking out to see, things like, Babby, the boat bridge or whatever, were things that I'd not seen other people do, and so trying to come up with ideas that I haven't seen other people do, but at the same time, I also am going to do a number of things that other people do, such as, an Enderman trap in order to get pearls from the end, and other types of mob farms to collect drops and different things, because I do want to try to build big in this world. And so, alright, I'm going to go ahead and get all of my loot out so that we can fortune it and smelt it and all that kind of stuff, and we'll see where we end up. Oh dear. I'm sorting some of my inventory, and does anyone notice something that is missing? I believe I left the ender chest down in the spider dungeon or somewhere else. I'll have to go back and look at the video. Oh, silly Brian. In any case, we are cooking up a bunch of iron and gold, and I will lay out all of the other things that we're going to fortune, and so I'll be right back. Alright, not as much fortunable ore as last time, but here we go. I just want to go at it with like a madman and see what we get. Whee! And yeah, I should have checked. I was started at level 16, I think. And let's see what kind of levels. Fortune does not affect experience. I saw Suzuma Void does a nice little kind of Mythbusters series of episodes where he talks about myths, and one of them that he recently busted was, does fortune affect experience? And it does not. He did it both with test as well as looking at the game code. Suzuma Void is another guy that I like to watch on occasion, and he and Biffa are doing a playthrough of Final Fantasy II, and so that's another thing that I've been watching lately. Huzzah, huzzah. It looks like it is just about bedtime. And so I'm going to take a nap. We still have... Oh, I got 16 diamonds out of that. That is great. As well as... Oh, wow. 2.5 stacks of lapis and some more redstone. This is good stuff. Alright, I am doing pretty well on the resources front. And so we need to drop this off as a spider dungeon, and I want to bring all of my saddles together to have them in the same place. And so I'm going to go back to the other house, and so I will meet you guys over there. This will also give this a little bit more time to smelt. I tried to hop on my minecart in the nether, and the minecart got away from me and got into this big section of powered rail, and so now it's somewhere up here. But for when that happens, I am very glad to have this little kind of access panel. But now I'm curious to know, I think I could just right-click on it and get in. Yes, and then you can actually give yourself a little push when you're inside the minecart, and eventually I'll get up to the powered rail section, and so that's not so bad. And that is happy. Another thing that people commented on the previous video, and this is something that I actually noticed myself when I was editing and watching the last video that I put up, and has been true in general, is that a while back I was trying to get rid of the ums and uhs, and of late they have crept back into my speaking a whole lot, and so I tried at various points in this video to reduce that, but that is a long haul thing that I'll need to continue to work on. And so hopefully over the coming week or two you'll see some improvement on me there, because I'm going to try to focus on that, because that annoys me as well. And I would like to be a better speaker than that, whether it's for Let's Play commentary or real life stuff. Just like Kurt, I feel like doing the LP gives me an opportunity to kind of practice my own kind of like speaking skills and stuff like that. Alright, and so we are back here, and I want to drop off the moss stone at the Hall of Structures. And so I think we are starting to see the Quiet Cows pattern take shape that I have been accustomed to in my own experience that does not match what my expectations are based on the game code. So I think it's the case that when dungeons generate, it's a 50% chance of being a zombie dungeon, 25% chance of being a skeleton dungeon, and 25% of being a spider dungeon. And so we should see twice as many zombies as we do spiders and skeletons. But what we have here more matches what I have found in my own experience, which is zombie dungeons are the most common, next spider dungeons, and finally skeleton dungeons are pretty rare. And so I'm not sure why I've experienced that, but yeah, in my own experience, I do feel like it's more like 60, 30, 10 as opposed to 50, 25, 25. And so I would be curious to know if that's the same or different from other people's experience. I find that skeleton dungeons are hard to find. I'm not sure if I just don't listen for them well. I think all the mobs, like, you can hear their sounds, spider screeches and bones clanking and zombie moans from the same distance away. Although that would definitely affect, how many of each kind you would be able to find if you're just doing kind of caving missions like I always am. But yes, I'm kind of curious about what other people's experiences and expectations are there. In any case, I'm pretty sure I have enough footage for today. I got a chance to talk about some topics, got a chance to record on the new solid-state hard drive, which seems to be going okay. Still had a couple places where it seemed like it was lagging up a little bit, but definitely lagging less than it used to on the other drive, and so I'm hoping that this will be good stuff. And yes, I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I think next time I might go back to doing some building kind of stuff. We will see what I'm in the mood for. But I also want to... Where is it that I'm keeping moss stone over here? At this point, someone was saying I should build some kind of better storage shack, and I have accumulated a little more cobblestone than I thought. And so that is good, because eventually I'll need the cobble for building. Here we go. Here is all the moss stone. And yeah, wow, I've actually got a fair bit of it. Yeah, I could definitely do some crazy moss stone building at this point. And emerald ore, I now have found 19 of that I've managed to not throw in the lava, as well as 9 and 5 or 14 saddles. And so we are doing pretty good in terms of all those types of rare things. I don't know why I like collecting the rare things. I just do. And I brought back Stall because I think I want to create a jukebox over here at some point. But at this point, we've done enough for today, and so we'll save that perhaps for if we're doing some building next time. We can listen to some music, C418. And yes, I also hear that C418 and Mojang have put some new sounds in the game. But once again, that's about the extent of what I know about it. And so I'm trying to stay spoiler-free on that stuff as well. It sounds like they may have had some trouble with the latest snapshot with the sounds, and so I hope they improve that before the release of the next version. All right, I have rambled enough. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. I hope you are having a terrific day, as well as a great one. Bye-bye.